explore,
explore,
explore, explore, explore.
The world just doesn't have as many mysteries anymore. There's no new continents to explore. There's no more deepest, darkest Africa.
We just, explore it further. And,
Explore it further, explore it further, explore it further.
Yeah, I'm so excited to explore another planet, Commander.
Monkey. Descartes, Newton, Wittgenstein. To explore in the imagination what they were constrained from exploring in the physical world.
Meters.
Having lost the probe, the only way to get the data was to explore the chaos zones where the ice had cracked and recracked. And
if I want to explore my ideas, I just need to cloak them in the guise of Flores's defense.
But he presents you the chance to explore all the mysteries of this chamber, if you would only agree.
It's a possibility I think we should at least explore. Last night, I began to explore possible reasons why Tim Wagner wanted to dodge DNA test.
And then with the U.S. neutralized, our enemies would be able to explore their interests unchecked.
That's right. Beckett, their ongoing mission to explore strange new motives, to seek out new witnesses and new suspects for murder.
Angie, what he's been doing all day, I'm not pointing any fingers. I'm just trying to explore all the options.
If we explore the crater, we might be able to save everyone.
He's right.
Anthony, send 3 scouts to explore the area, out to a perimeter of 5 miles, in every direction but east.
Estimate.
Estimate.
estimate, estimate,
estimate.
Well done, kid. What was the estimate? What was the estimate? What was the estimate?
$500,000 plus.
Fragments into a fountain of shrapnel. I estimate one bombard could take out a dozen of your men and their mounts.
Whole stations may have been lost. I estimate. No more than 1,000 survivors.
No, it's fine. I'm sitting in front of it. If you tell me your thoughts, I will give you a rough estimate.
So that, together with this device, has enabled me to estimate the length of our voyage. See, Mr. Milverton is a professional blackmailer. I'd estimate that his victims number in the dozens.
He was probably disinfecting himself before he left the lab.
So once he was there, how long do you estimate it would take him to assess the spore's progress?
I'd say no more than 10 minutes.
Pay me what she's worth. And what exactly do you estimate that to be?
Hey, does he wipe for you too? Now, by my rough estimate, you have not had sex in 1,839 days.
We're keeping the American Armada on the move, sir. If the sub has joined the hunt, I estimate they're here, heading right for our ambush.
Way worse.
Meaning what?
If less time than I thought, than I can even estimate.
Is it some guy named Mason? Got to do an estimate and some garage repairs for him.
You said 2 years.
Yeah, I think 2 years is a realistic estimate.
If it passes at all.
Which I think it will.
You think or you know?
Fame.
fame, fame, fame.
Fame.
Eternity belongs to God. All this stuff is temporary. The money, fame, success, temporary.
Protect you.
From what? Glory? Fame?
No, come on. I
Press
was bigger than
What?
you.
We're not friends.
But if we teamed up, it could bring your career to the next level.
Well, I have a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame.
And Tori, you gave Jenny the gift of internet fame, but you hadn't even checked to see if Jenny was even on Twitter.
He's probably nervous. After wearing your leggings, he's getting ready for his fame audition. What, you missed 3 out of 6 months and you're out? We're batting 500. That's Hall of Fame stuff right there.
Franco like the Spanish dictator? Franco like Franco Harris, the Steelers Hall of Fame football player.
Raised in a noodle shop, never seeking glory or fame. He climbed the mountaintop and earned the Dragon Warrior name.
It's actually quite painful.
Excuse me, sir?
You just won a prize for setting a rink record on the boxing machine. If you wouldn't mind taking a picture for our wall of fame?
Oh, yeah, sure.
Yeah, you like it?
It is phenomenal.
Hey, let's take a picture for your wall of fame.
Okay.
Innocence.
Innocence. Innocence.
Innocence.
Innocence.
Have you heard of the Innocence Project? Innocence Project? Innocence Project?
The Innocence Project works with convicted felons.
Why isn't he vigorously protesting his innocence? Innocence. Innocence.
Chambers, man.
If the DOJ investigates, it will only prove your innocence. Your innocence. Your innocence.
Denies you. Unless it was done in innocence.
I have evidence proving your innocence.
Man's body language spoke volumes. He fairly reeked of innocence.
I am now quite convinced that my initial instincts about her innocence were correct.
Castle, what are you doing?
Proving this man's innocence.
Castle?
Suspect in made murder maintains his innocence. Well, what else is he gonna say? Who knows? Maybe he didn't do it.
I'd kill you right now if you weren't using an innocent body as a shield.
Innocence is in the eye of the beholder.
Yeah, I suppose.
It's innocence. It's so innocent.
Undergo.
Undergo.
Undergo. Undergo.
Undergo.
In 6 seconds, lobby security will undergo a shift change. Undergo a shift change. Undergo a shift change.
Apparently, the league has some of their recruits undergo a process of reprogramming.
Like brainwashing?
Now, you're all valued employees, but as we undergo this transition to life online, we wanted to be candid with you.
I'm sorry, I admit it's an inconvenience, but with so few undergoing the procedure, every one of our patients is a learning process.
I have to cut away dead flesh. Nobody can undergo a procedure like this without an anesthetic.
What it's approved for, which is refractory nausea and vomiting in patients undergoing chemotherapy. That's it.
You'll surrender your clothes and undergo exfoliation.
Exfoliation.
Even so, she would have had to undergo the contaminatu ritualis while she was pregnant.
One of the prisoners, Faisal Ahmed, is undergoing treatment for a viral infection.
Holly is on a strict diet of cruciferous vegetables, and Yasmin is undergoing a new embryonic facial treatment that probably causes short-term memory loss.
Then the balance of power shifts to you. And then you can demand they prove their love by, say, undergoing surgery.
I'm not so sure about that. Your division at the FBI is undergoing restructuring as of today.
The hospital was undergoing unexplainable power outages every time you were going into cardiac arrest, which was actually a misdiagnosis because, you see, you weren't flatlining, Barry.
Coincidence.
Coincidence. Coincidence.
Coincidence.
Coincidence.
You expect me to believe that that was a coincidence? Coincidence? Coincidence?
No, not coincidence. Fate. Apparently, fate has a sense of humor.
Fate.
Coincidence. 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 That's all anything ever is. Nothing more than coincidence.
Tom Hansen.
Yeah.
There's no way that's a coincidence. It can't be a coincidence. Coincidence. Coincidence.
Paradoxic instant marriage in less than a week. Coincidence? When you're at this as long as I've been, you stop believing in coincidence.
Morning, sir.
It's interesting, you two arriving at the exact same time for work. That's either a tremendous coincidence or you spent the night together, which according to my father means you got married.
Hey, is it a coincidence that sauce night happens to fall on the weekend and I have the dishes?
The kids are out of this environment. What a coincidence.
Some coincidence. I mean, you asking to have your party here and Hunt getting robbed right next door and by the same guy who rescued us at the warehouse?
I've done this. She had more reason than anyone in the Seven Kingdoms. Do you think it's a coincidence she disappeared the same night Joffrey died? No, but...
I don't think that's a coincidence.
No, of course it's not a coincidence. It never is.
In a different location. What are the odds that that's a coincidence?
That's not a coincidence.
The guy was killed with a 38. I pulled a 38 off of you, Reggie. What is that, coincidence?
I didn't say I wasn't happy he was dead.
Are you telling me that us meeting was a coincidence?
Pursuit. Pursuit.
Pursuit.
Pursuit. Pursuit.
After a prolonged pursuit, police have arrested Xian Nao Wei, a high-ranking member of the local Chinese triad. The Red Arrow and the Woman in Black in pursuit.
To get myself some less paltry possessions.
An empty pursuit. An empty pursuit. An empty pursuit.
You and I have been pulled off the pursuit.
Why?
Now, if you gentlemen will excuse me, I'm off in pursuit of the perfect bottle of rum.
His hero, the Dragon Warrior, who in his eternal pursuit of justice never rests.
For you, you are now the Dragon Warrior. It's time to put aside the childish pursuits of your past.
The pursuit began with gunshots at an apartment on East 38th Street.
Richard Castle, tell me, Detective, how often have you let your personal feelings for your husband dictate your actions in pursuit of a suspect?
Yes, and I have proof that he has killed dozens in pursuit of this madness.
That is not what I mean. Asgard is millennia beyond you in our pursuit of science, of knowledge.
You ever wonder if this constant pursuit for revenge is the reason we've known a cares for us?
Academic. Academic. Academic.
Academic.
Academic.
20 combined SAT, 4.2 GPA.
I'm a little concerned about a revenge fantasy fueling her academics.
Taken incompletes in 2 classes, and you are on academic probation.
Shut up. I may not be academic smart, but I'm smart.
I mean, he's a sociology major. He's on full academic scholarship, and now he's calling his friend an egghead?
Seniors, or at least knocked them down at letter grade for refusing to participate. That's what the academic handbook says.
Not from business school, anyway. I have to review her high school academic file further.
Yeah, or I could commit academic suicide in front of a live audience by trying to prove that God exists.
All right. It is my sincere hope that this center will become a beacon of academic excellence in an underserved community for years to come.
That would go a long way to restoring your reputation. I'm an academic.
Looking out at your fresh young faces, I remember when I, too, was deciding my academic future as a lowly graduate student.
You know what baffles me, Sheldon? Based on your academic record, any number of things I would imagine.
Hey, guys.
Personal nature. What's the play about?
I'm sorry, but I really can't discuss it. We have a policy about that.
You were the one that brought the play up in the first place.
No, I brought up his grade. Our policy allows us to discuss academic excellence, but not intellectual content.
Wherever.
Wherever. Wherever.
Wherever.
Wherever.
Wherever you found this, you put it back.
When I give you the opportunity, go. How long are you here for?
A few weeks.
Then what?
Then it's off to wherever they want to send me next.
Come out, wherever you are.
That's good. Keep it light.
I know you're in here. I'm gonna find you.
Vicious. Get in.
Where are we going?
Go wherever you all want.
I'd be delighted to take you wherever you'd like.
I'd like to go home.
I say we vote on it.
No.
This isn't the big game, Mr. Quarterback. He can go wherever he wants.
No.
You, sir, to take a seat.
But where would you have me sit?
Wherever you wish.
I want 3 of them to be exact, and I have someone you want. Go ahead, say hello.
Drive away, wherever you are.
Dad, put him back on the phone.
We catch the lies wherever they come from.
It's gonna be here in an hour or so. Are you cool if he just sets up camp?
Yeah, he can set it wherever he wants. I don't care.
Vinci and the boy. You will accompany Da Vinci wherever he goes.
This is toilets, all that. For now, wherever it says Donnie, you write in your name.
Conference.
Conference. Conference.
Conference.
Conference.
But I'm not planning on calling a press conference. Press conference. Press conference.
The oldest guy you've ever blown.
What?
That conference in Warsaw? That conference in Warsaw? That conference in Warsaw?
What conference?
Lech Walesa?
Thank you for agreeing to meet me at my home.
My father used to say that living rooms make the best conference rooms. Best conference rooms. Best conference rooms.
Oh, I'm going to steal that.
Because the only reason I can imagine why my fine young money managers aren't at the conference table at 9 a.m. is because you all went in on a winning lottery ticket and you come here to tell me to kiss your collective ass.
Conference room's clear.
What is going on here?
Press conference. Hey.
Man, that press conference today was something else.
Where's your co-counsel? He has to sign off on this. He's waiting in the conference room.
Some type of high-tech firewall that I'm not even going to try to pronounce. He was here for a tech conference. He tried to resist, and one of the perps put a slug in his chest.
Leave that to me.
What do you mean?
I'm gonna do this press conference and I'm gonna narrow it down.
Didn't he say he wanted Louis to do the press conference?
Who's doing the talking will be the least of his problems.
I'm staying at the Peninsula. Conference BS for the next 3 days.
Fundamental.
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 This self-organization is a fundamental law of the group. Fundamental law of the group. Fundamental law of the group.
It's a slow class. Palpating the patient's abdomen is first, before tests or labs. Basics, people. Fundamentals. Fundamentals. Fundamentals.
To reclaim the American dream and reaffirm that fundamental truth that out of many we are one.
In the midst of all our backslapping, we forgot a fundamental principle of smart growth.
You don't trust me. Actually, it's more fundamental than that. You don't like me.
What does it matter if she says she's asexual?
It's the fundamental drive of our species. Sex is healthy.
So, Leonard, Howard says you're working on fundamental tests of quantum mechanics?
I am.
It's a very basic procedure, but you love the basics, and you're all about the fundamentals. For the next step.
Well, you might remember this the next time you're screaming at an intern for skipping the fundamentals.
Will you just do it, please?
Time travel spells have been written since the dawn of the dark arts, but never cast. It's against the fundamental laws of magic.
Paranoia, ultimately psychosis. I bring this up because in 140 years, the fundamental mind of the escaped man has not changed.
Consent.
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 My God.
Do you have authority to give consent?
Consent? Consent? Consent? I don't know.
It's good enough for me. We'll get her ready.
Give me that. I'm her doctor.
She consented to this procedure.
Let it go, Lourdes.
She can't consent. She can't consent. She can't consent. Only I can consent, and I don't want you touching her.
You don't want the truth to...
I told them what happened, that I didn't wait for consent. 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 But it was more complicated than that. No, it wasn't.
Did you consent to the heinous act?
Being a sleep period. The council has already issued a writ of consent giving the chancellor permission.
Ah, for sure. Kissing could be a way to go if you're up for it and can get written consent.
First of all, you cannot open doors without consent. Is that clear?
Something. We can't, okay? We don't have consent.
Jacob, look at me. Darius' consent form. She's the 5th victim.
Look closely.
It's a standard consent form for an angiogram with contrast. This is the appropriate procedure.
Without your not-so-fearless leader, you haven't got a hope.
Captain K9 said we will have to combine our powers. Combine our powers. Combine our powers.
Dinner is in the fridge, and I got you your favorite cake. It's on the counter. Combine the mix with 2 tablespoons of oil and 2 eggs.
Let me tell you something. I was in the depression stage about my ex, but I combined my ex with depression, and I...
Of course, we welcome those who volunteer themselves. We can offer attractive incentives for those who willingly combine.
500,000 florins. More than we keep in our Bruges and London vaults combined.
Hey, when FEMA gives us hotel vouchers, do you want to combine them and get like a ginormous suite?
A shared sensitivity of the spirit combined with what I like to call untapped potential.
And a director's award before he's 30. I mean, he had more stats in his first year than his whole squad combined.
Babe, maybe you're taking this whole dream thing too literally. Or maybe you've combined 2 memories together.
No.
The dark matter must have combined with the bomb particulate inside your body.
So, I took a different approach. Paralytic combined with an anesthetic. How come they can't eat through the toothpaste tube?
It's only when the chemicals are combined that they become corrosive.
Await.
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 Await. Await.
The girl who is bespectacled, she may not get her neck tickled, but safety pins and bassinets.
Await the girl who fascinets.
Where they'll go, what they'll see, what new worlds await them.
Remainder of my crew, some 200-odd U.S. Navy sailors, await our return aboard our destroyer USS Nathan James, currently in the bay at the mouth of the river.
Guess what? You like boats? Mm-hmm. But half a mile down that way, there's a boat waiting for you. White sandy beaches and turquoise water await. It's good then. We shall await your return.
My vote would be, we quietly sightsee like he says, and await his call to see what we do next.
Save a man's life once, get a silver star. Save it twice, we're in the tux. I'll await further instructions, sir.
War before I understand the situation. Agent Weaver, you're now the highest ranking officer on the carrier. I want you to head back there and await further instructions.
Yes, sir.
I don't believe that Sky would turn against it.
In the ground sleeping, but yeah, it sounds great. Well, caffeine addicts await.
Bye-bye, Dr. Jim.
I'm sorry for going at you like this, son. But I'm the last stop between you and the darkness that awaits you.
Dash.
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 Chef who took 19 hours to make 1 loaf of bread. Stephen Hawking was more successful at the 100-yard dash. 100-yard dash. 100-yard dash. You're running. Don't run. It's Han. For him, every step we take is like a 100-meter dash. 100-meter dash. 100-meter dash.
But what if it has no legal status? I don't want to build her hopes up, only to have them dashed. Dashed. Dashed.
Please applesauce on the rear dash out in the hot sun.
Is the striking young woman and her Uzi-waving partner, Queen's own Bonnie and Clyde. They make a dashing pair.
Damn it! What was that? Giant pothole. The dash is lighting up like a Christmas tree. Tires blown. I should just point out, though, that our Pharaoh's fantasy does take a dash longer normally because our Nubian lives off-site.
There I am. Rather dashing, don't you think?
Is this even a good idea?
I'll give this one to Miss Shaw.
I'll just make a dash for it. Finch, take this down. Echo 5-9, Mike, India 6.
What's next, the 100-yard dash? You know you're not supposed to be doing any of that, right?
Dan, let's go! Cap, be ready with the spreaders. Hadley, we need the ram for a dash roll. Got it. Hands on deck! Chicago PD! Get him out! On the deck! See your hand!
Succeed.
Succeed.
Succeed. Succeed.
Succeed.
Yeah. What basis does he have? If my actions are calculated to help me succeed, then why should I perform them?
Or you don't. You succeed, you succeed, you succeed, or you fail.
The choice.
He wants us dead. You need us to succeed. You need us to succeed. You need us to succeed.
Like that, I will get laid, I'll get a better job, I'll succeed forward in the life.
Any TV show with before and afters will succeed.
Before you said that? After you said that? I want to pause to consider the beauty of this moment. We're about to succeed where the combined wits of a dozen or so federal agencies have failed.
Working against her, she will kill us before we know it. It is imperative that we succeed. We need her heart.
But not to worry, nephew. I trust you will succeed.
My plan will require an act of you, Mr. McGraw, if it is to succeed.
Does it succeed?
We made no such agreements.
Why are you doing this?
Because I want to succeed.
What makes you think I'm gonna fail?
Well, how could you not?
Put the spirit down.
But you are here to question my resolve. But you won't succeed.
Yeah.
I want you to succeed, Dawson. I want to see that. I really do.
Anyway. 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 Anyway.
Anyway.
I need to remind you what that'll do to your year-end bonuses. Anyway. Shipper Marks fired their last firm because they took their eye off the ball.
So, Mom, where are you anyway?
Look, I have to work late tonight. Can you ask Grandma if she can stay till 10?
Sure.
Mom, I hate this school. Why would I want to play for it? Grandma's gonna pick you up at the field around 5-ish.
Well, I can't find my cleats anyway.
Are you 14? No, I mean, you're a call girl. I mean, that just sounds pretty... Anyway, so about that threesome.
I'm from a big family. 6 brothers and sisters.
Anyway, part-time is perfect for us.
Professor Kavanaugh, I have to ask. Alicia Florrick is your sister, right? Right. So do you see her much?
Anyway, A sub n plus 2.
Hello. Is that a canoe in your pocket there, Cal? Nicely played there, Mia.
Rhea.
Oh, well, thank you anyway.
Where is my sister anyway? We were supposed to caravan to April's.
She said she had an early meeting.
You've done all the right things, but we knew it would be tight until the store really took off. So why do you need this money anyway?
We're all just animals, Shane. Red in tooth and claw. Why are you so nervous anyway?
I really like this girl.
Jill, sweater. It's mine anyway. Off. Say please. Please.
Underestimate.
Underestimate. Underestimate. Underestimate. Underestimate.
Don't underestimate yourself. Don't underestimate yourself. Don't underestimate yourself. You're the third smart.
Keep your eye on him. You seem like a smart man, Francis. You should underestimate me. Don't underestimate me. Don't underestimate me. I know one sidekick.
Can't just erase the fact that 2 people had sex.
I think you underestimate us. You underestimate us. You underestimate us.
People underestimate you, Juliana. Yes? That. You underestimate us.
I called because I thought he was making a play. He wasn't. You can't underestimate Briggs. He's...
I had no idea that reusing casings was such a thing.
Never underestimate mankind's passion for rendering the tools of violence and mayhem.
Hard, but I didn't think they'd refuse to give us their DNA.
We underestimated the hold the imposter has over them.
Had she would have gotten suspicious. Don't underestimate her.
I don't. I don't underestimate you either.
It's better that way.
You'll guarantee that, will you?
You underestimate your men yet again.
they will hear reason.
Decora.
Never underestimate the power of a guilty conscience.
And you underestimate the price of what you've done. You should.
Perhaps we can change the game together.
You severely underestimate me, dearie. I always win.
Fertilizer.
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 Doing yard work for PI. We need some fertilizer. Fertilizer. Fertilizer.
Why in the masonry section?
But he'd be out there, all covered in dirt and surrounded by these huge bags of fertilizer and lie, fertilizer and lie, fertilizer and lie. We just put the...
It's cloudy. Yeah, cloudy.
Here comes the usual theatrical fertilizer, theatrical fertilizer, theatrical fertilizer.
Commonly found in cold packs, explosives, fertilizer.
Fertilizer? Wait, Lau Gomez.
Chemical fertilizers. Turns water brown.
Fertilizers.
And there are not 50 factories producing fertilizers around here. There's only one.
What happened to the empties?
I told you not to ask that.
Redundant vessels are recycled, mulched, and converted into fertilizer.
Close? Sorry, what do you mean close?
We could use another couple 100 pounds of fertilizer.
He would use natural ingredients.
It smells like fertilizer.
And with good reason. Beyond its horticultural employments, fertilizer can be distilled down and mixed into a rather potent nitrate accelerant.
NPP is an acronym. Stands for nitrogen phosphate potash. It's the chemical formula for fertilizer.
Quarter on the market on H2O. We'll need explosives. Farmers in town, they gotta have fertilizer.
You sure that thing works as a detonator?
All the fertilizer button needs to blow up is a radio frequency.
Habitat.
Habitat.
Habitat. Habitat.
Habitat.
Indeed. Geekus nerdipithecus in its natural habitat, natural habitat, natural habitat, alone as usual.
Seeing you in your natural habitat, is truly disturbing.
Who says I remember? Dr. Belli, we believe that Dr. Weldon was killed at the benefit Friday night.
At the animal park? He was found in the tiger habitat. Tiger habitat. Tiger habitat.
This brave mother was willing to do anything to protect her cubs. But she's powerless to save the habitat they need to survive.
Be immortal or to reproduce. If its habitat is not sufficiently favorable or nurturing.
Our bottom. Well, it's your bottom. I went to happy hour once and woke up naked in the penguin habitat at the Bronx Zoo.
And you are? Warden Schlappabursky from the Wildlife Commission. A mammal on our endangered species list may lose its habitat with this new construction.
There are tinder dry conditions out there. Warm temperatures, low rainfall, high density housing in a natural habitat.
Your whereabouts? You don't have to answer that.
I volunteer at Habitat for Humanity.
It even confirms that the missions rover was still parked at the habitat at the time of the incident.
At some point, right?
Yeah, Haley's got her beach trip, and Alex is doing Habitat for Humanity, and Luke has camp.
What else could I do?
There's Habitat for Humanity, building houses for the poor.
Okay, come on, I don't even have my own house. I'm gonna build one for someone else.
Contradict.
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 Contradict the word of the emperor?
No, man. Why not? It contradicts everything I just said, John. Contradicts everything I just said, John. Contradicts everything I just said, John.
But unless you've got a witness who can contradict Mr. Holmes.
A DNA test will contradict you, but I don't think that's going to be necessary.
Well, I don't mean to contradict you, but getting it to her, impossible.
Which completely contradicts her confession.
Coming back after all these years contradicts every law of physics, biology.
She may be my aunt, but she's a dark horse.
No one will contradict you there.
I doubt he would contradict one of his ministers.
See if he's willing to talk one-on-one.
But when you contradict me in front of Seth, it compromises my authority over.
Ambulance.
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 Call an ambulance! Call an ambulance! Call an ambulance! Somebody! Look at me, look at me.
Hetty, I need an ambulance now. Ambulance now. Ambulance now.
Tom, I need you to call me an ambulance. An ambulance. An ambulance.
Okay.
Really? Yeah. Well, I mean, technically the couple died in the ambulance on the way to the hospital, but the...
I'm gonna call an ambulance.
Ambulance is on the way, Bruce.
I don't meet a lot of funny people, okay? Funny people don't drive ambulances.
We're already at worse.
Is the ambulance coming? Is it coming?
No.
You heard me.
No, I need to call an ambulance.
No, don't do that.
I'm gonna put you on speakerphone. Be good, and I'll call you an ambulance, okay? English preferred.
All units, be on the lookout for stolen ambulance 313.
That's us. So much for not running. I have to finish this. I somehow knew you were gonna say that.
Jewel.
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 I know it doesn't look like much now, but this is gonna be my crown jewel. Crown jewel. Crown jewel.
Buy jewels and clothes and go dancing.
I'm a very good dancer. I'm sure I could get used to yachts and jewels. Jewels. Jewels.
What did you say?
Remember, Frank? Your next job. You deal in diamonds and jewels. You deal in diamonds and jewels. You deal in diamonds and jewels. The most valued by the ounce.
Sure it was Alan?
Yeah, he pulled up in a Range Rover and went in with a suitcase.
Could be the jewels.
And again, last night.
The Da Vinci Sforza, the jewel of the sale.
The Imperial jewels will be transported through town on their way to the capital. You will take out the guards, steal the jewels, and bring them back here.
Whoa! Hostage-taking jewel thief, for example.
Idea what he's after? Victorian jewels, Fabergé egg, some sketches by Matisse. I'd go for the jewels. That's the egg.
They got jewels and stolen cars. I don't got that kind of money there.
It's not that one.
Just really good.
Best safecracker, best bomber, best jewel thief, and now best hacker.
Peculiar. Peculiar.
Peculiar.
Peculiar.
Peculiar.
Ignore you. I mean, I get it. You're a little peculiar. 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 You know, like Sheldon.
Excuse me, Penny, but in this room, you're the one who's peculiar.
Dispute that.
I feel like you should be taking notes.
You find my fascination with hotels to be peculiar, don't you?
You sharing anything personal is peculiar. It's peculiar. It's peculiar.
I wanted to ask you about Tom Mason. I've been hearing some peculiar rumors. Peculiar rumors. Peculiar rumors.
Mason's been peculiar since the day I met him, so what?
That's nice, but
So he's a bit of a fixer-upper. So he's got a few flaws.
like his peculiar reindeer.
This thing with the reindeer.
What is this peculiar liquid? There's no bouquet. It's completely transparent.
It's water.
You're not using those ear brushes to clean your mouth, are you, Mr. Brown? Peculiar habit.
It's not private anymore.
Well, that's a peculiar claim, seeing as the deed's been in my family for 75 years now.
Last night I saw something beautifully peculiar.
You two are definitely not suited for each other.
That's a peculiar conclusion.
His way if he gets here after 5.
Then I'll have to bite the bullet and put him up at the pub.
Won't you find that peculiar?
Inside the photo that we already have. And I uncovered some peculiar information within the file. Look at this.
I'm thinking how being an escort makes the choice of shoe even more peculiar.
What do you mean? It was even stolen.
It's a peculiar modus operandi for...
You think these people of all people? Vegetable oil.
All in bulk.
Yeah, homie definitely had peculiar taste when he hit the Sam's Club.
Conventional.
Conventional. Conventional. Conventional.
Conventional.
Why you were invited here to supper in the first place, if my appetites were for less conventional fare. Conventional fare. Conventional fare.
Just bring her something nice. Pick some flowers.
Too conventional. Too conventional. Too conventional.
Well, you'll figure it out.
Man, there go all the burritos. This is a conventional oven, right? Conventional oven, right? Conventional oven, right?
Is there, it's clear. My job is then to find, with all my anarchic and conventional experience, I've just got to find the tool.
Exactly.
You will know him when you see him, believe me. He cannot be destroyed by conventional means, but I have a plan. Ladies.
Tens of millions. This guy can fill up a football stadium on a Tuesday.
Oh, conventional spirit guys always ask this.
You'll fuck him just to get him to remember?
I agree. It's not conventional practice. Where are the blueberries? I told you like 2 days ago. The organic blueberries, not the conventional blueberries. I can't use them in the shit.
And I hope you don't take this the wrong way, but you seem like such a conventional married couple.
I can assure you that those conventional authorities in those countries will not love you.
Probably not. You've contacted has said basically the same thing. The conventional engagement has proven ineffective, guerrilla tactics slightly more successful, but at too great a cost.
She's got this sort of anti-establishment, fuck you attitude. Conventional news bores her, but if you had something gritty to show,